Good evening, Phi Theta Kappa inductees and guests. My name is Lavada Burse, and I am honored to serve as your 2020-2021 International President. Welcome to Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society's largest ever virtual induction ceremony. Despite the many challenges of this unprecedented year, this historic event is cause for celebration. Phi Theta Kappa does not require inductees to participate in a formal ceremony, yet we know the power an induction has to recognize what you have achieved by being invited into this premier honor society. First, never doubt your potential. It is unlimited. Your good grades don't just commend your past, they speak volumes about your future. Many of you have overcome obstacles that would have seemed impossible just 1 year ago, yet you have persevered. What you have achieved during this pandemic can never be taken away from you. Second, this induction is an important milestone in your educational journey. It is more than a celebration. It reveals an open door to the many benefits you have earned as a member. Phi Theta Kappa's ever-growing benefits of membership are powerful tools to help you achieve your goals. Whatever goals you have set for yourself, we challenge you to set even bigger ones. Your active involvement in PTK can help you make them a reality. The tools and resources Phi Theta Kappa provides are only as valuable as you make them. My fellow international officers and I would like to share the extraordinary opportunities PTK has given us. And the good news is, these are the same benefits available to you. Please join me in welcoming your international vice presidents. From Division 1, from Asnuntuck Community College in Connecticut, Victoria Orphis.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and congratulations, inductees.
Representing Division 2 is Jacob Lambie. Jacob is a member of Northeast Texas Community College.
I hope you're all ready for a night to remember.
Elena Wong is your Division 3 Vice President. She's from Oakland Community College in Michigan.
Congratulations to all of our inductees. We are so proud of you.
And last, but certainly not least, is your Division 4 Vice President, Mariah Mayhew. Mariah is a member of Pikes Peak Community College in Colorado.
Thank you all for joining us. I feel so honored to get to play a part in your big day.
We'd like to begin by thanking the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation for sponsoring this historic event. To tell you more about this organization, which offers tremendous scholarships for transfer students, is the Director of Outreach and Partnerships, Alan Royal.
Good evening, and I hope you and your loved ones are safe and healthy as we all continue to navigate the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Alan Royal, and I'm the Director of Outreach and Partnerships at the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation. And on behalf of the foundation, I would like to congratulate all of the new Phi Theta Kappa inductees on their membership. It's a noteworthy accomplishment that you should feel proud of. During this period of time where in-person connection and community is not as accessible to us, it's important to continue acknowledging and celebrating accomplishments and milestones in the best way we can. I'm glad that Phi Theta Kappa has organized this virtual induction ceremony, and I hope that each of you is excited and looking forward to good things to come as a PTK member. Know that you can continue to take advantage of opportunities like this and others to maximize your higher education experience, even in the midst of the challenges that we're dealing with and having to work and learn remotely more than ever. The Jack Kent Cooke Foundation and Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society have an extensive history working together in support of high-achieving community college students across the nation. And we've had the opportunity to support many of the same students during that time. At the Cooke Foundation, historically, about 85% of the students we select to receive our undergraduate transfer scholarship are also Phi Theta Kappa members. So for those of you who are currently thinking about transferring to a four-year college next year, I encourage you to visit our website at jkcf.org/transfer to learn more about the Cook Undergraduate Transfer Scholarship. The deadline to apply is January 6th, 2021. And if you have questions, you can email us directly at the foundation. Again, we at the Cook Foundation are grateful for our partnership with Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and for remaining connected to amazing students like all of you, and want to wish you the best as you pursue this new endeavor as a Phi Theta Kappa member.
For the sake of time, we will briefly address 5 main areas that make up Phi Theta Kappa's benefits of membership: recognition, scholarships, career training, transfer success, and leadership. PTK's mission has 2 important parts: recognition and opportunities to grow. At the heart of our mission is recognition. No matter what your background, age, or major, being recognized as a Phi Theta Kappa scholar leader empowers you. I know it did for me. After almost 20 years away, I found the courage to go back to school. Receiving my membership invitation was the catalyst I needed to set higher goals for myself. I'm an introvert who always found it hard to speak out. Through supportive chapter advisors and fellow members who not only encouraged me, but also believed in me, I have grown personally and professionally as an officer for my local chapter, regional president, and now international president of Phi Theta Kappa. Part of the uniqueness of PTK is its 3-in-1 membership. You are not only a member of your local chapter, you are also now part of a PTK region and PTK internationally. If you reach out, I am confident you will find a network of support too.
Scholarships to help pay for college are the #1 reason students join PTK. Our social media is full of testimonials from members who have received scholarships because of PTK, including myself. I was thrilled to be named a Silver Scholar as part of our academic team sponsored by the Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation. That is just one program among hundreds that Phi Theta Kappa members are eligible for. In fact, more than $46 million in scholarship opportunities await members every year, including those administered by our headquarters office and our 4-year college and university partners. We know scholarships are needed not just for transferring, but for where you are right now in your educational journey. That's why you'll also find numerous scholarship programs to help members finish their 2-year college credential, whether that's an associate degree or a certificate. PTK continues to grow career tech opportunities, such as our exam fee scholarships for nursing students to take the NCLEX exam, our Walgreens partnership to aid pharmacy tech students in earning certifications, and scholarships for all career-bound students, funded by the Coca-Cola Foundation.
Connecting you to scholarships is just one way that PTK helps support your goals. PTK Connect is a web portal connecting both workforce and transfer-bound students with career pathways, colleges, and scholarships, all in a central location. PTK Connect allows you to customize your search of transfer schools, compare institutions, and find exclusive details for transfer students all in one place. No Google search even comes close to PTK Connect. You can also search for career info, such as salaries and job outlooks by state, to discover which majors align with your career interests.
I love learning, and PTK Edge courses provide me with so many opportunities to continue to gain skills and credentials that make me even more competitive for jobs, scholarships, and transferring. You can participate in any PTK Edge course at your own pace and at any time of the year. Currently, there are 4 Edge courses: Competitive Edge, which focuses on soft skills like communication, critical thinking, and conflict resolution. Employment Edge helps you master your resume and interviewing skills, as well as grooming your online reputation. Transfer Edge guides you through every step of the transfer process so you can save time and money to complete your bachelor's degree. And Research Edge It gives you a firm foundation in conducting academic research, a necessary skill in school and life.
As Lavada shared earlier, your membership consists of 3 levels with leadership opportunities at each one. PTK needs your unique perspectives, talents, and strengths to lead at the local chapter, regional, and international levels. Yet there are plenty of ways to make a difference even without an officer title. You'll be better equipped to lead by taking part in PTK's internationally recognized Leadership Development Studies course. This online curriculum is available to you on demand with units such as developing your personal leadership philosophy, navigating change, and making decisions. Some colleges even use this curriculum for credit courses.
We hope we have inspired you to take advantage of at least one of the benefits we have highlighted tonight. But don't just take our word for it. Let's hear from other members about what PTK memberships have done for them.
I really enjoyed the research aspect of Honors in Action. Compiling it all in the end into the final project was a really rewarding experience. The skills I needed for that really translated into all of the classes that I take and the work that I do.
At PTK's annual convention, I met a college recruiter. I told her my story, and she asked if I had ever considered Yale. I created an account on PTK Connect and started looking into my transfer options. Believe it or not, I actually got an email from Yale. I didn't even have to reach out to them. They found me through PTK Connect.
I'm transferring to a 4-year, and Transfer Edge was really helpful. One of the most helpful sections was making my transfer application more competitive. That's something you just don't learn in college, but you really need to know.
I started working my way through PTK Edge courses, and I'm using the various skills that I have learned in my everyday life. Competitive Edge has had the greatest impact on me.
Leaving high school was so hard because of my friends and my classes, but once I was able to join PTK, I found the community and friends and a feeling of belonging.
I was born in a very poor and remote part of Kenya. I was able to be introduced to Phi Theta Kappa, and the chapter actually has become my family here in America. It's like a home away from home.
When I turned 30, I wasn't sure I could even do college. I didn't have a lot of confidence. I was invited to join Phi Theta Kappa. Eventually, I was chapter president.
I became a chapter officer. That second year in Phi Theta Kappa is really when I think I transitioned into a strong leader and I made the most character growth.
I started at a community college.
I joined Phi Theta Kappa.
And now my future is bright and my next steps are clear.
I am who I am today because of the opportunities that my college and this honor society gave me.
Many of your PTK benefits are accessible online by using your username and password contained in your welcome email from Phi Theta Kappa. If you need assistance, you can reach a headquarters staff member at the contact information listed on your screen.
We now turn our attention to tonight's keynote speaker. Dr. Lynn Tenchner-Ladner is Phi Theta Kappa's president and CEO. Dr. Lynn has dedicated her life's work to community colleges, having served in both instruction and information technology roles before joining Phi Theta Kappa's headquarters staff in 2012. Her undergraduate and graduate degrees are in mathematics, and her doctorate is in community college leadership. Know your worth is a mantra that she enforces to all PTK members in encouraging us to pursue our dreams. We could ask for no better advocate than Dr. Lynn, who says that she has the best job on the planet. Let's hear from her now.
Our lives will forever be divided into 2 parts: how we viewed the world before the COVID-19 pandemic and how we view it now. And crisis impacts us in so many ways, and not just how we see the world, but our belief systems, our expectations, our fears, and our hopes. And depending on when you were born, you may remember the assassination of John F. Kennedy, or the Apollo moon landing, or 9/11, or the first Google search, or the Columbine or Sandy Hook school shootings. These events impact and unify the people who are living at the time, or generations. Generations are simply groups of people born and experiencing life at about the same time. But like people, generations form their own identities and have certain characteristics. But before I talk about generations, it's important to note that everyone watching today is first an individual and then a member of groups. And we find wonderful diversity between and across groups. And just like you are, I'm a product of my own generation. The America of my childhood had a growing middle class, well-defined gender roles, and polite politics. World hunger and AIDS were the most pressing issues of our time, and Coke versus Pepsi was the only war that I knew. But Michael Jackson was the king of pop, and the Atari video gaming system was invented. And although social media had not existed yet, the children in my neighborhood, we found ways to communicate without talking. We used cassette players and we would record messages, and we would hop on our bikes and we would ride and throw the cassette tapes into the front lawns of our friends. And we would receive a message back within hours in response to our own. This was the social media of the late 1970s. And for a time, we were limited to rotary phones and 8-track tapes, but eventually computers burst onto the scene, and the world became much smaller as our access to each other and information began to change. And I specifically mention technology because I believe it to be a key driver of our behaviors and our attitudes and how we live and communicate. What I believe is the secret science of how generations were decided. My children, Lauren and Lucas, have never known a life without a cell phone. Once, when they were still young enough to be in car seats, my mother called when we were driving home one day. Lauren was talking to Grandma, and she handed the phone to her younger brother, and he began pushing the buttons and accidentally disconnected the call. And Lauren yelled out, "Mom, Lucas is logging Grandma off." But even this year, as Phi Theta Kappa turns 102, we could not experience Catalyst in this way or at all without the technologies that we have. The children of today, they've inherited a much different place than the America of my childhood. A place where active shooter drills are normal, a place with less defined political and religious institutions, and a shrinking middle class. But the technology is fast, the gender is fluid, and HIV is no longer a death sentence. But while we have become more tolerant of the differences in each other, we have also become a society that is more polarized than ever before. There is a greater diversity in our schools, in our churches, in our neighborhoods, in the workplace. And when we talk about diversity, we often talk about race and gender, but generational diversity is just as important to understand. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you a little bit of what I've learned about generations and how they function in the workplace and why it matters to you. Baby boomers were born between 1947 and 1965, and they're currently the oldest generation you'll find in the workplace. They're between 55 and 73 years old, and there are almost 72 million baby boomers. Half are retired and the other half are working. Boomers were born in the post-war economic boom, but their parents lived through the Great Depression. Work ethic was a matter of life and death. The boomers working at PTK are some of our most dependable workers. Generation X, they were born between 1966 and 1981. They are currently between 39 and 54 years of age, and there are just over 65 million Gen X people in the world. At work, they are independent, they hate to be micromanaged, but they were the first ones to think about the work-life balance and often request flexible work schedules. They get their work done, but they do not want to miss the soccer games and the school plays like their parents did. Gen Y, or nicknamed the Millennials, were born between 1982 and 1994. They're currently between 26 and 38 years old, almost 60 million millennials. They are confident and ambitious and achievement-oriented and highly adaptable. But millennials seek job fulfillment over pay. And they want a work-life balance, but they want it tailored to the needs of the individual worker, up to and including working from home. Generation Z was born between 1995 and 2009. They are currently between 11 and 25 years of age. just over 65 million in the US, and on track to be the most diverse and most educated generation of our time. Gen Z are the first to not know a world without cell phones and high-speed internet. My children are both Gen Z, and their response to the world is to take action. When Michelle Obama worked to make school lunches healthier, the extra-large tasty roll was removed from my daughter's lunch. She started a petition to get her roll back. She was 10. In my generation, A stood for Apple, and my daughter's A is activist. Generation Alpha is the next generation. Born in 2010 to present day, the Alpha generation are the babies and toddlers of the millennials, and there's almost 44 million and counting in the United States. They are said to be the first generation that will not learn to drive, and technologies like automation and other nanotechnologies will define their behaviors. So why does any of this matter? Studies have shown that diverse teams outperform non-diverse teams. The reason? Diverse experiences and backgrounds allow new ideas to develop. And an interesting fact about community college is that you'll find the first 4 generations that I described going to school there, and the same number of generations you will find in the workplace, and in roughly the same proportions. The same cannot be said about a large number of 4-year colleges. This means that your decision to attend community college is preparing you for life and work in ways that you may not have expected. The diversity of community colleges is just another benefit of your choice to be there. And you're not the only ones benefiting. As institutions, community colleges are much stronger because of the diversity that you bring to the classroom and the campuses. We are fortunate that community colleges are home to the most diverse group of students in higher education. And at Phi Theta Kappa, we are even more diverse. And it is not just the color of your skin. It is part of our work that you share your cultural differences that arise out of age, gender, ethnicity, race, sexual orientation, and yes, even your religious and your political beliefs. And when I look back over our year, I see strong evidence of this. We are working together to connect communities to colleges and careers by helping underserved populations fill out the FAFSA. We are creating informed communities by transforming the stigma of mental health issues and helping others take charge of their own mental health. We are helping college leaders by researching the extent of the opioid crisis on our campuses and in our communities. And it is not just our humanitarian efforts. Our chapters are researching the impact of microplastics on the environment and our declining bee population. Our programs like College Project and Honors in Action, by design, have you working in diverse teams in order to get things done. In the workplace, you will be surrounded by people who do not look like you, talk like you, or think like you. Your community college experience and involvement in PTK is giving you an edge by allowing you to work in diverse groups and to solve complex problems that impact your community and your world. And so there is one more generation that I want to describe to you today, the PTK generation. And although you were not born within a single specific time frame, you represent the best of all of them, from boomer to millennial. And it's because you work together and learn from one another. And instead of surrounding yourselves with people just like you, you choose to study and lead and serve and fellowship with this community of scholars and leaders. The result, you are benefiting from being a member of this amazing and diverse organization. You are dependable and hardworking and conscientious just like the boomers. You seek balance and value your quality of life like Gen X. You are ambitious and confident and curious and achievement-oriented like the millennials, and you take action on the issues that you care about like Gen Z. Combined, these qualities make you strong individually and collectively. You are the PTK generation, and I cannot wait to watch you change the world.
Thank you, Dr. Lynn. We are indeed the PTK generation ready to change the world. It is now time to formally induct our newest members. These students have fulfilled all requirements for membership and have been selected because they have chosen scholarship, leadership, service, and fellowship as their hallmarks. I recommend them for acceptance into their local chapters, within Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society.
Inductees, you are about to be inducted into a scholarly fellowship, which embraces colleges not only of your own states, but of the nation and the world. We challenge you to study, lead, serve, and fellowship within this community of scholars and leaders. Let us continue to be hardworking, curious, conscientious, achievement-oriented, and committed to take action on the issues that we care about. This torch, symbolic of knowledge, is the servant of wisdom, which dwells with prudence and leads in the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of judgment.
The white rose symbolizes purity and beauty of life, with its white buds signifying intellectual associations. We present this rose as a symbol of our newly formed intellectual friendship.
The golden key is the emblem of Phi Theta Kappa. It consists of a golden slab keyed at the top and bottom. The golden field, like the escutcheon of our coat of arms, refers to the golden opportunities that abound on every hand for society members to evidence their culture and perform good works. Since gold is the most noble of metals, it has a further significance in our society, for it represents the nobility attained by those who achieve intellectual leadership.
Across the slab, you will see a black band. It represents the three ideals which band us together, and the cultural self-control, which is necessary as a foundation for true wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Shining through the black enamel background are the three Greek letters, which are the initials of those three mystic Greek words meaning wisdom, aspiration, and purity.
Behind the band is a wreath, on one side composed of oak leaves, and on the other, laurel. The oak leaves stand for stability and strength of character, as symbolized by the sturdy oak. The graceful, curling leaves of the laurel signify achievement and success, all attributes for membership in our society. Above the band is the representation of the head of Athena, the goddess of learning. And in the base appears the mystic Greek letters meaning light, the light of knowledge, and learning, the common ideal for members of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. This badge stands as a symbol for the high idealism of our organization and membership in our select group.
You've heard the constitution of this organization, the purpose of which is to foster a spirit of devotion to study and the scholarly ideals among its members, whose principles are embodied in the Greek letters, which stand for wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Now that the standards and ideals of this organization have been fully revealed to you, you come to complete the pledge, which admits you into complete fellowship.
Please join me in reciting the oath. Repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly promise on this 10th day of December 2020 to uphold the standards of Phi Theta Kappa and to make this object and aim foremost in my mind. And I do solemnly pledge allegiance to my fellow members and promise to aid them in all worthy endeavors. Our heartfelt congratulations to each of you. To see the names of the nearly 4,500 new members who've joined us for this historic event, please visit our website. We are so proud to officially call you part of the Phi Theta Kappa family. I encourage you to embrace the opportunities ahead to learn, lead, and serve, making our world better together. I am certain that this is just the first of many history-making moments for this group, and we can't wait to see where PTK takes you next. Congratulations again, and good night.